Hey everybody, what's going on this morning? Welcome to the show. For those of you who are new here, this is my Saturday show where we just kind of talk about things that have happened during the week and how we all feel about things. I'm thinking about opening this thing up so we can all so I can have people come in and you can ask questions and do all that type of stuff. But we will see. Hold on, let me make sure we're all good. Oh, it's interesting. Hey, what's going on, Danny? Secret Squirrel. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Ivan. Hey, what's going on? Everybody's here. It's funny because I haven't been I'm looking at the chat. I haven't been getting notifications either. A couple of people were complaining that they weren't getting notifications, but it's the YouTube system. Sometimes it goes out, sometimes it doesn't. So, well, the people who are here, I'm happy. If it's 10 people, 15 people, I'm happy you're here. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be fun. Hey, Barney, what's going on, Barney? So, I don't know. Where should I start? I'll start with the Twitter war that I was so good not to get into the Twitter war between Aaron Ra, Steve McRae, and the definition of atheism. They tried to bait me into that like you don't know how. Steve did a stream about Nate the Idiot, and Aaron is, tagging me in all these tweets. So I'm like, oh my God. So, I wanted to get involved, but then I said, no. The definition of atheism is a stupid argument. So you're not going to see me publicly shame anybody on Twitter because of, the definition of atheism. I think the argument is so dumb. I don't know why, but they tried to get me involved. So I was a good boy. I stayed away from it. I mean, Barney knows, right? Barney's here. Barney Timpson, he knows. Barney, you know how that goes down. Oh my God. So this morning, hey Elliot, what's going on? Denmark in the house, Linda. The Netherlands. Hey, you know what? It's funny. I think all right, yes. It's not a toothbrush. I gotta make sure. This is my baby spoon. I love my baby spoon. These things I'm gonna use them for the rest of my life. Matter of fact, if these spoons go bad, I'm gonna buy a new baby spoon. So you guys will always see a wonderful baby spoon. I even hate the metal ones now. I just love the plastic ones. $5 from Super Chat. Such a stupid argument. He needs to let it go. Yeah. But I gotta say, I was kind of obsessed with it too a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And Barney will tell you. Barney, is Barney still here? Barney will tell you the many nights that we spent talking about this thing. And it's just, it's not even interesting anymore. It's not even interesting. So let's Secret Squirrel, Photoshop. It's a real toothbrush. I hate you, Secret Squirrel. I hate you. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, it's a Netherlands present too. Hello from the Netherlands. Ooh, at least I'll say this. If you're in Europe and if you're in Australia, you are probably doing a lot better than we are here in the United States, especially when you're talking about things like coronavirus. Christina, what's up? Especially when you're talking about things like coronavirus and all this stuff. And I don't know. Let's start there. You guys want to start with coronavirus this morning? Let's just look at the U.S. numbers. Now, one thing I'm always hesitant to do is to make sure everybody knows. Listen, I'm not a doctor, right? I'm just not. I'm just not a doctor. If you think I am, then you maybe hit the wrong channel. You're on the wrong page. But I am not a doctor. But I'm someone who just, looks at the numbers and wants to see what the hell is going on. Ireland. I love river dancing. What's his name? Who was the guy who used to watch river dancing from Ireland? He's the famous guy. Now I can't. Michael Flatley, right? Is it Flatterly? But yeah, I used to love that. His river dance from Ireland. Ireland in the house. There's now a young African-American woman who's taking it up. She was on Good Morning America the other day. So yeah, how do I know about river dancing? I don't know. I'm just what can I say? I like river dancing. Okay, I'm a fan of river dancing. There it is, Michael Flatley. Yes, Michael Flatley. You guys know who I'm talking about. I see he's got more fans than me. Yes, Lord of the Dance. Hey, there's stupid people everywhere. That's true. But it seems like they're based in America. London in the house. Boom. Top of the morning to you for my people in Ireland. In London. Hey, I have family in Brixton. They call it the Black London. So London, I can't wait to go back to England now. And when this coronavirus thing is over, I'm headed to England. I'm headed to France. I can't wait to get back to Europe. I just love the history of Europe. It's amazing, and oh my God, you guys don't know. And when I get out there, I hope I have some good hospitality out there because I can't wait. The two things on my bucket list is to go back to Europe because I've been before. And then my second thing is to go to Australia. So I got to go to Australia. I got to stay like maybe a month in Australia. I can't wait to do it. Sam Lowry, Nate, the lawyer, American tourists should be accompanied by an adult at all times. Janny, greetings from Australia, 9:45 p.m. Yeah. Oh, well, damn. It's pretty late out there. That's not that bad, though, right? It's better at 7:45 in the morning. I know I'm a little late today. I'm sorry about being a little late today, but the kids were up late last night and we were doing all these crazy things. So it was fun. Bed and plate waiting for you. Okay. You know what? I have a friend from my fraternity, and what we plan on doing is backpacking through Europe. So we're going to start in England. I think we're going to start in London, head up to Scotland. I'm probably going to see if I can visit Fiona, because I know she says she's in Scotland, but it's not that, I'm sorry, but the UK is not really that big of a place. Not like going across the country here in the United States, then France, and then trying to go across there, the train system and all that stuff. And then hopefully we'll come back here, and then I'm going to probably take a separate trip out to Australia. I have a friend that says she wants to get married out there, so hopefully that'll be a nice little excuse to get out there. So you may be seeing me do world traveler stuff, but we'll see. So let's look at this coronavirus stuff. Are you guys interested in these coronavirus numbers for the U.S.? The U.S. is just like doing like the worst ever. 700,000 deaths. We're almost at 1 million deaths. These new daily cases, everything is rising. Let's look at look at this. Let's look at it linearly. Wow. People, that's exponential growth. That's crazy. Are you guys seeing this? This doesn't seem. Let me blow this up. This is unbelievable. When are we going to get a handle on this thing? Let's look at countries. I want to go see countries. Related deaths and territories. Let's look at the USA. So the US, 5 million coronavirus deaths. I said deaths, cases. 5 million coronavirus cases. Insane. Let's see let's see the death toll from yesterday. 1,200 deaths, 63,000 new cases, 164,000 deaths. Let's look at the charts. Oh my God. All right, for the US of A. And Donald Trump says this is not a problem. He's like, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. We have like the stupidest president on the face of the earth. I'm sorry. If there's some Trump fan out there, then unfortunately, you got a problem because Trump is the worst president ever. So let's look at this. Let's look at daily cases. All right. So total cases, we were at, now I predicted 10 days would take us to get to 5 million. So we were at 4 million. We crossed the 4 million threshold on July 21st. And now we're at 5 million August 6th. Yeah, between August 6th. So it took us about 14 days. So we've got 1 million cases in 14 days. Damn. This is crazy. So every 2 weeks, we got another 1 million people who are infected. Now, obviously, hospitals are being overrun and all that stuff. So that's going to start hitting. But the problem is that, I don't know, I have a lot of conservative friends, and the first thing they'll always tell you is that, well, Nate, even though there's a lot of cases, the death rate is low, right? The death rate, nobody's dying from this thing. The death rate is so low. So let's look at the death rate. You know what I'm saying? It's since that's their whole claim to fame. I don't understand why they don't understand. First you get the cases, then you get the deaths. So let's look at the 7-day average for cases. Here we go. Let's take this off, the 3-day moving total. Just look at the 7-day moving average. Take off daily cases. So this is not looking good. This is when we were here in New York, but look at this. So we actually are having a downward trend, but actually we had 64,000 cases a day, so this should be looking up again. But this looks promising. It looks like it's going down, but I really want to see deaths, actual cases, active cases in the United States. Look at deaths. Look at the death line. Let's look at it in logarithmic to see. Straight. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. Let's look at this. Let's look at the average lines. Wow, 7-day moving average. Deaths are going up. It's got a little tick down, but we're in trouble here in the United States. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. So, just so everybody knows, so the big issue here in the U.S. is that our president wants us to go back to work, right? And he wants to open up the economy fully. But so you guys understand the issue is that you can't do that without schools here in the United States. And the reason why is because schools are daycares, right? Schools are daycares for parents who can't stay home with their children. So if there is no school, parents can't go to work, right? Somebody has to take care of the kids. And then most of the parents can't pay for someone else to take care of the kids because, they're working, if you're working with average means, you can't pay someone else to take care of your kids and work and pay bills and all this other stuff. So that's the big issue. To really get the economy open, you have to have schools open. So the president of the United States is saying children are immune from COVID-19. Now, that to me is outrageous that the president of the United States will be saying that. It's shocking. I don't know. Am I pearl clutching? Do you guys think, am I pearl clutching? Am I saying is there anybody out there in the chat? If somebody in the chat thinks that that's true, that children are immune to the virus, let me know. Maybe I'm missing it. You know what? Here, let's watch this news clip. I think this is fascinating. Listen to this. Listen to his claim. Listen to this man's claim. I don't know. Here we go. Check this out.
Will, quote, simply go away. He also declared it will be safe to vote at the polls in person in November as his re-election campaign takes one state to court over mail-in voting. CBS's Paula Reed has the latest from the White House.
In his push to reopen schools, President Trump made false claims today about how the virus impacts kids.
If you look at children are almost, and I would almost say definitely, but almost immune from this disease.
But Dr. Anthony Fauci has said children can indeed get the virus and spread it.
Do children get infected? Yes, they do.
Have hundreds of thousands of children been infected?
Yes.
Last week, Vice President Mike Pence applauded a North Carolina school for reopening with in-person classes. But now, fourth graders there are quarantining after a student tested positive. The president is also claiming that it will be safe enough by November 3rd for seniors to vote in person.
So by the time we get there, we'll probably be in very good shape.
There is no evidence to support that projection, and it follows his months-long assault on mail-in voting.
So, just so I don't have to get struck with all these copyright strikes for playing the news, I don't understand how people believe that. He said, he doesn't say it just once. He said it multiple times, and he was even corrected. Right? They corrected him and said, "Well, no, you don't mean immune. You mean that they don't get sick or they don't that they don't have to go to the hospital as much." But no, he's like they're almost immune from it. So I just don't know. Barney says children are more resilient to the virus, not immune from it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's using the word immune, right? It's it's so deceptive because either he's too dumb to understand the difference, either the professional, the top doctors on the planet Earth in infectious diseases aren't telling him you're using the wrong word. Like, he's the president. He has all the information. People saying he's mixing it up. Well, then he's an idiot. How can you mix that up? Dr. Burke, Dr. Fauci, hold on. Hey, listen, are children immune? No? Okay, I'm saying the wrong thing? Okay, all right, yeah. Listen to Burke. Listen to them. Ooh, you know, I think Trump is just an idiot. Trump is going to go out there and get more and more people killed. He is. Now, I know, like, progressive liberal, go check out his channel too. He's a pretty good guy. Progressive liberal says Trump is intentionally out there to want to kill children, right? I don't think that. I don't think he's out there wanting to intentionally kill children. That's just not happening. But I think his actions are leading to kids going to be killed and their parents and grandparents being killed. Trump is used to BS his whole life. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the 5 pounds. Yeah, you're right. He's used to BSing himself out of these things for his whole entire life. And when he does that, he thinks that it's just going to happen this round too. It's insane. Here we are from Flying Monkey. Kids are petri dishes. Yeah, it's just like with the flu. Like when my kid goes, when we send my kids to daycare, and they come home and they got a cold, we get a cold. It's just like it just happens. It's just a natural progression of things because kids aren't socially distancing at daycare. You know what I mean? So I don't know what he means. And again, it's not about kids dying from the virus, right? I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page with that. This is not about kids actually dying from the virus, right? This is not about kids being hospitalized for the virus. This is about kids passing it to adults who are more likely to be killed, who to be hospitalized from the virus. So that's what I think is missing from this whole thing, is that kids are more likely to spread the virus to adults who are susceptible to the virus. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I'm hoping our president doesn't kill many more people, but we got 160,000 dead already. They're saying now 300,000 at the end of the month. And think about at the end of the end of the year. But think about this. I think most people don't understand how the projections have changed. Remember, at the beginning of this whole thing, they said based on the social distancing shutting down the economy, we were going to have maybe 150,000 people die of coronavirus, right? Total. Right now we're at 160 and they're projecting 300,000. So nobody's seeing how the models have changed. Nobody's talking about how more people are dying. Nobody's talking about any of that. Everybody's trying to make excuses for this president who is an idiot. Yeah, in the United States, we are sick of winning. We are sick of winning. So just so people understand how bad this got, the president starts putting all of this out there. You know, he sends all this out there to everybody. And one of the more interesting pieces about this is Facebook and Twitter. They removed his posts about, or the interview he did when he said this. They removed it because they said it's just misinformation. The president is wrong. The president is wrong. And that's true. And think about how much it took for Facebook to take down a post. It had to be that bad where Facebook had to take it down. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Flying Monkey says, I don't look to President Trump for healthcare advice. Good point. I am not sure why anyone would. He needs to stay in the wheelhouse, in his wheelhouse. That's true. Oof, I'm gonna bug here. That's true. But he's given, he's telling people what to take. Flying Monkey. I would say that's true, but he's telling people, take hydroxychloroquine. It's a miracle drug, and send your kids back to school because they're immune. That sounds like medical advice to me. I know you shouldn't take it as medical advice, but there's millions of people out there, millions of Americans that when he says stuff like this, they're going to believe it. They are going to believe it. So I don't know. Listen, I'm just going to be straight up. Trump is, I think, an idiot. I think he's an idiot who just got lucky and got the presidency, right? He's the luckiest idiot on the planet. But is there anybody here who thinks Trump is such an idiot? He was bragging about being able to take a test that an 8-year-old can pass, right? He was bragging about passing a test an 8-year-old can pass. The test he was bragging about, is that an elephant? Those were the questions. He's bragging about passing that test. Is that, what? Am I wrong with that? Like, the president of the United States is bragging to show you how bad that test was. I have a 9-year-old, right? And I just wanted to play to see if she could do well with the test. So I went online, downloaded it, and we went over the questions. And she didn't miss any of the questions. No, I think she missed one. I think the counting backwards from 100 by 7, she missed up a couple of those. But it was like, okay, this is easy. And the president of the United States is on TV saying, I passed this test 2 years ago. That means I'm a genius. No, you're an idiot. I don't know. I know people may be scared to say it, but I'm not scared. I am not afraid. Trump is an idiot. He's an idiot. And you know what? I'm just going to keep it 100% real. I have a lot of conservative friends. I do. I just do. Why? Because I'm an independent. I hate the Democrats. I do. I don't love the Democrats, but I don't like the Republicans at all either, right? I hate them both. Secret Squirrel sends me $2. Person, woman, man, and I forgot the rest. Oh no, was it person, woman, man? If somebody else remembers it, he can remember it because he's a genius. I don't remember it, but I know what you're talking about. Person, woman, man, car, some shit like that. And he remember. Oh, camera, TV. There it is. Person. See, we're failing. We're failing the test. Secret Squirrel, you failed. Secret Squirrel failed the test, and I did too. So we failed together, Secret Squirrel. That's why we're not president. Oh, thanks for the $2, Secret Squirrel. Who's your man, woman, person, camera, and TV? Who's your with the big brain? I'm ready for the Secretary of State now. Oh man. My daughter's like, why are you laughing so much? But yeah, so who's your Secretary of State? If I run for president, Hoosier, I'm giving you a call. I hope you don't have anything bad in your background now. Well, it doesn't matter because Trump has a whole bunch of bad stuff. It doesn't matter. Trump is a salesman, not an idiot. No, he's an idiot, Barney. I'm sorry. I disagree. Let's not get into the definition of atheism, but I think Trump's an idiot. I think he's an idiot who just got lucky. Oh, so I don't know. It is insane. Let me show you this clip. I had it pulled up, but I just closed it. I hate when I do that. Like when you have a clip pulled up and you're ready to go and you're like, okay, yeah, I can't wait to show these people this. And the next thing I know, I'm here and I'm like, oh, I forgot. I closed the wrong thing. But this is one of Trump's sycophants, Kellyanne Conway. And she was on Fox. And she was talking about this whole thing about the she was talking about this, and it was so hilarious. All right, so let's listen to Kellyanne Conway. Now you guys, Fox News happens to want to press Kellyanne Conway about this. Now, if you guys don't know who Kellyanne Conway, this is Trump's PR person. It's a person that comes out and says things for to translate Trump to us normal people. To what he's saying. So, listen to this. This is interesting, and I'm surprised that Fox News actually pushed it. But check this out. You guys might be surprised. Kellyanne Conway. Here we go.
For the first time ever, Facebook removed one of the president's posts, Twitter doing the same, both saying the president's message breaks their rules against spreading misinformation about coronavirus. Joining us now at the White House is Counselor to the President, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Sandra.
And of course, there is a debate happening whether or not Facebook and Twitter should be arbiters of truth and decide what is fact and fiction. We can have that talk in just a moment, but I want to put up the latest CDC numbers on coronavirus cases in children under the age of 18. Under 18 accounts for about 7.4% of confirmed cases. That is up 6.7% from 2 weeks ago and up nearly 6% from a month ago.
So now I want to stop it here. Look what's going on. She's hitting her with the numbers, right? She's hitting her with the facts. Like, before we even get into it, Kellyanne, before we get into the bullshit, let's hit you with the facts. Here they are. Here are the stone cold numbers from the CDC. That's what we're going to be talking about, right? Children are not immune. Matter of fact, they are getting infected at higher rates, right? And that 7% numbers, I don't know if they'll mention it, but it's a higher rate than actually people over 65, right? So children's infection rates are higher than elderly infection rates. So that's what Kelly, so she's making sure she's laying the groundwork, as a good interviewer is supposed to do. Here are the facts. Now let's talk about it, understanding these are the facts. So let's see how Kellyanne Conway responds to these facts. Fox News came prepared. They were like, we want to make sure we ain't getting out the bullshit this morning. Here we go.
So kids are getting this disease, Kellyanne.
Yes, they are. And thankfully, most never make it to a hospital, and very few have died. Every death is a tragedy, every single one. Let me make very clear. But those are national numbers, and not every state or even county or school district is the same. That's why you see so many of these parents overwhelmingly, when they're surveyed, Sandra, say, do you feel like it's safe to send your son or daughter back to school? And many of these parents are saying, yes, please do that. And they're being big-footed by one health commissioner in a county or a school board or a few in the teachers union. And I think we have to take into account what everybody is saying here. I'm also happy to report that based on the COVID report I received here this morning at the White House, the overall test positivity rate has declined 8% since last week, and 0 states have seen an increase overall since Tuesday. So as Dr. Birx and others have been saying, we're seeing a flattening. Governor Ducey was here yesterday from Arizona, showing a great model, I think, for the country. They had a huge surge in June.
I want to stick to children, though, because the debate right now is over the spread of misinformation by the president about children being nearly immune. Having under 18 kids in this country get the disease 7.4% of the time is not nearly immune. And you want to dial down to specific states and districts where schools are reopening, what's happening with children. I spoke to the governor of Mississippi last night, and he said the kids are spreading it. Listen.
What's happened is that many of these kids, when they started back school early last week, came into the schools, they came in and they had the virus. We actually have 100 students approximately that are quarantined now. Those who want to attack everyone look at that as a negative. I actually look at it as a positive. The system is working, whereby we've identified positive cases, we've contact traced those back, and we're trying to protect those kids.
So is it helpful for the president to tell parents that children are nearly immune from this, and then have it factually spreading child to child in places like Mississippi, where they've opened the doors to their schools?
Now, you got to give Fox News some credit here. You got to give Fox. Now, listen, I know there's people out there who are probably not a fan of Fox News, not a fan, but this woman is not letting the bullshit go, all right? She's just like, hold on. She's got clips ready. Hold on. Let's talk about Red Mississippi, where this is happening, right? Children are spreading the virus. It's a whole bunch of bull to say it's immune. So Kelly, with all this information, are children immune? Is that misinformation? Now, obviously, Kellyanne Conway's a spin doctor, so she's going to spin it. But but before she answers, let me get this super chat out. Nate, you and I both on politics. I'd say I was liberal conservative, but Trump's insane. God help you guys. Thank you. Oh my God. Yes. No, Trump is definitely insane. Thanks for 499. No, Trump is definitely insane. Trump is definitely insane. So let's listen to how Kellyanne Conway, because she hit her with Fox. Now, again, I know a lot of people say Fox News is propaganda, but this report, this anchor is hitting Kellyanne hard, right? She's not giving her these aren't babyface questions. It's like, yo, here's the evidence, here's the proof. Trump said they're immune. What's your response? So let's see what Kellyanne has to say. You know she's going to come up with something. So let's see what she's got to say.
Well, in many interviews, the president makes very clear, uses the New Jersey example, information he got from Governor Phil Murphy, a Democrat of New Jersey, that in New Jersey, which was, I think, the second hardest hit state for a while, you had, I'm told, one child under the age of 18 who passed away, and that individual had underlying conditions. That's the information I have. So I think the president is making clear that overall, the average age of those who passed from coronavirus is still at about 78. Over 40% of those who have passed away were in long-term facilities or nursing homes. I learned that in the coronavirus task force meeting in the Oval Office 2 short days ago, Sandra. We had the task force meeting in there. I was there for the entire thing. I listened to Dr. Fauci, Dr. Redfield, Dr. Birx. You know, these are the facts and figures. But I think we also have to make very clear that we, you know, a lockdown and shutdown may work for Joe Biden in Wilmington. It doesn't work for the rest of the country, and doesn't work for many of our school children. We can't create a pandemic within a pandemic. We know from many of the health professionals that extended lockdowns and not being in school and pretending that we can replicate that online increases
point is dealing
so
with
many other.
Now, obviously, she didn't answer the question at all, because remember, they were talking about, is it responsible for the president of the United States to say children are immune, when that's a factually false statement, right? That's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. That's the question. That's what she's not answering. So now it seems like the reporter or the anchor is going to go right back to it. No, you're talking about some bullshit now. Let's get back to the question. Here we go.
Other maladies for these children.
And I get that, Kellyanne, and that's another conversation. But the point is, the president in that interview on Fox and Friends yesterday morning said it's going to go away, like things go away. And that is something many people are taking issue with, particularly because his own health experts at the White House, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, and others, this is Fauci's words: I do not believe it will disappear because it's such a highly transmissible virus. So is the president listening to the advice of the health experts that he has at his side?
He is, and they should be listening to him as well. We don't like to hear the first things on TV when we have coronavirus task force meetings in the Situation Room, a classified setting, for an hour and a half, and don't hear certain things there where we can pressure test them and learn as a task force, and then hear them for the first time on TV. That's not specific to any one individual. It merely means that the country benefits when we understand the facts and figures here at the White House, and they're brought up to the president and the vice president, as should be the case. But let me make this point. You know, when Twitter has, of all people, I'd imagine tens of thousands of people work at Twitter, Sandra. When you have somebody who worked for Kamala Harris come out and announce that you're banning the president's tweet, you're taking it down, that itself shows a political motivation.
Now, just so people understand, that's the ad hominem attack, right? That's just a straight ad hominem attack. Somebody who happened to work for Kamala Harris 20 years ago says we had to take down this tweet. It's just an ad hominem attack. Just because she may have worked for a Democrat means that anything that she does now is politically motivated. That's BS speak. But I always ask my conservative friends, my Trump supporting friends, how can they support someone who's just out and out lying to them? And this also brings me to the Flynn situation, because I had one of the toughest arguments with a friend of mine over the Michael Flynn case the other day. Because, Flynn lied. Now, just so everyone knows, Flynn is a liar. He's a convicted felon. And they are trying everything they can do to just get him out of trouble. Fine. Okay. So what's been going on is that my friend is saying that, you can't, Flynn's a innocent man. It's all this great stuff. Flynn's innocent, this. So I believe Flynn's guilty. Okay, whatever. We can disagree on that. But this guy loves General Flynn. And he says, but he hates Fauci. So I'm like, why do you hate Dr. Fauci? So he said, Fauci lied. Fauci lied about the masks. Remember when he said masks were no good? Then he later on said, well, he said that masks were no good because he didn't want to run on masks and healthcare professionals. So Fauci's a liar. So since he lied that one time, you can never believe Fauci again. Okay, fine. If we're going to go with that, one lie means we can't believe you ever again, then let's see about the President Trump's lies. So why do you believe President Trump? Why do you believe Michael Flynn, right? Michael Flynn, he lied to the court. He lied about lying. And then now he's lying about lying about lying. So how can you believe that? Did he do it? Well, he said he did, but then he said he didn't, but then he said he did. The guy, obviously, who knows what the truth is, People are making up situation. So about they pressured his son. Well, if his son is out there killing people or committing felonies, and they say we're gonna arrest him and prosecute him too, then yeah, you should prosecute his son. His son shouldn't be out there committing crimes. So when I brought that to his attention, then we got into this battle of, oh, well, all politicians lie. So I said, okay, so bring me a list of Obama lies, right? The first thing he brought me was if you keep your doctor, you want your doctor to keep your doctor for the healthcare. So I said, okay. So I said, is that it? Is that the only lie that you can get me? Because, it's questionable whether it's a lie because it was a prediction, but all right, I'll say it's a lie. Like, he was struggling to find more than one thing. And then I just put a list out, and it was funny because I had clips because I was doing a thing about clips. I'm glad he didn't say Joe Biden because Joe Biden have a whole bunch of clips too for Joe Biden. I'm going to show you the Joe Biden stuff in a second, but I had a whole bunch of clips of just Trump lying, and it was so embarrassing. He felt he kept saying, well, I just don't like Trump. I said, no, you said you don't like liars, and I'm showing you Trump is obviously lying. He's lied about this. He's lied about Stormy Daniels. He lied about this. He lied about this. Here are actual lies about everything, right? Matter of fact, it's hard for me to find a place where he's actually told the truth. It's hard for me to find a place where Trump is actually told the truth. That's crazy. So there it is. Prometheus says the FBI intended to entrap. Yeah, but show me the evidence for that. Show me the evidence. Show me where a jury has said that he's been entrapped. That's all political bull, right? It's bull. Just like people saying there's a Brady violation. All right, so show me in the court documents where AG Barr is saying there was a Brady violation. You can't find it because it's not there, right? All of this is political spin. All this is political spin. And you see, and it's effective. It's effective political spin because you tell the people some bullshit and they go out there and preach it like it's gospel, right? Flynn was pressured by the FBI to lie. No, Flynn said, I lied because I'm a goddamn liar, right? I knew it was a lie and I lied. He said it. He signed it under penalty of perjury. Yeah, I lied. So how can you now say, well, I don't believe him. I don't believe he told the truth. Well, I believe he lied, but now I believe he's telling the truth when he says he lied about lying. What? This is what the president has got these people saying. It just doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It just does not make any sense. But hey, what can you say? People can say whatever, but what are the facts? The facts of the case, like even the facts of the case now, the facts of Flynn's case now, so everyone understands what's going on, is Flynn is the Court of Appeals is going to figure out whether the prosecutors in the case can drop the charges for Flynn after he's been convicted. Flynn is a convicted felon. What happens is that Judge Sullivan was going to sentence Flynn to jail. You know what? Let me dial this back. For those of you who don't know who General Flynn is, because I know we're talking to people from across the country. General Flynn was President Trump's national security advisor. Now, here in the United States, lying to the FBI is a crime. I don't think it should be a crime. I think it's a stupid crime. But anyway, it's a crime. He lied to the FBI. He admitted lying to the FBI, and he made an agreement with Robert Mueller. So he lied to the court. I mean, he lied to the FBI. They prosecuted him. Robert Mueller, he signed the agreement with Mueller. So Flynn, after he signed that agreement, he pleaded guilty the next day. I think December 1st, 2017, he pleaded guilty. That judge recused himself. And then you had a new judge, Judge Emmett Sullivan, come in. Flynn then pleaded guilty for a second time with Judge Sullivan. Now, their plea agreement between the government and Flynn was supposed to be that Flynn wouldn't get any jail time, right? Flynn would plead guilty and not get any jail time. But whenever you plead guilty in court, like I've done it so many times where you write up your stuff and you say, okay, well, you're pleading guilty and you make a recommendation. You say, well, we're recommending no jail time. The judge can look at that and say, well, hey, listen, I don't think this no jail time is going to work for me. So you've pleaded guilty. They're recommending no jail time. I'm going to give you 60 days anyway, right? That's what happens. That's what happens. It's happened to me before, right? I went to thinking that the guy was going to get no jail time. We all say no jail time. The defense says no jail time. I say no jail time. The court says, nah, well, you know what? Let's give him a month, because I think this is serious enough for the month. So what happens? because your sentencing recommendations are that they're just recommendations. Now, 99.9% of the time, the judges are going to go whichever your sentencing recommendation is, right? He's worked with you. He's pled guilty. Okay, they're going to. So Judge Sullivan in this case said, well, let's do this. If I have to take this, if I have to sentence you today, right, you're going to get jail time. So continue to work with the government and cooperate, and then show me your cooperation. And then when you come back, I'll consider not giving you jail time, depending on how well you cooperate with the government. That's what was happening. So Flynn was convicted. Flynn was about to be sentenced. And the only thing he was doing, he was state's evidence. He was still working with the government to do whatever they do. Now, he's come back and say he's not guilty, right? And the government's come back and said, we want to dismiss the charges. But it's too late for that. He's already pled guilty. So all this spin about Brady violations, well, then they should have, if there were Brady violations. Now, this is just a technical matter, so everyone understands. Let's say there are Brady violations. Let's say he was entrapped, right? Let's say all these things are true, because I think most of them are just bullshit that are bullshit spent. But let's say all of these things are true. What generally would happen is that he would be sentenced, or the judge would say, okay, well, there seems to be an issue here with all this other stuff, right? The judge would say there seems to be an issue here, right? He was entrapped. There are Brady violations. So they'll say, well, we're going to suspend sentencing and then let you, so you can appeal your conviction at the appeals court, right? And you can provide all this new evidence. You can do everything you need to do to show why your conviction or your plea is void, right? You were entrapped. There were Brady violations. You didn't get this, right? But that's but not now. That's after this particular point in time. That happens all the time. But the government wanted to jump the gun and say, well, we just wanted to dismiss the case. You can't do it at sentencing. That's just not the way it works. So that's what's been going on with Flynn. So that's why people, I think, just don't understand when it comes to Flynn, it's about the process. And you're right. All these horrible things people are saying that happened to Flynn, they're just speculating. They're just making it up, and they have not been tested. You're just seeing one side of the story. You're not hearing what the government says. You're not hearing any of that. You're just hearing one side of the story and jumping to the conclusion that these prosecutors, career prosecutors like Robert Mueller, because that's what they're saying. They're saying Robert Mueller committed Brady violations. Do you really think that's true? That the professionals at the Justice Department just did that? Just this high profile general, lieutenant general, with one of the top law firms. Again, he had one of the top law firms in the country. Now people are calling them incompetent. Like, really? Like, I think people are just so willing to buy bullshit. It's crazy. Now, I will say this. I think it's a condition of humanity. Have you guys? I don't know if you guys, and I just want to make. I'm making an analogy. I'm not saying there's something. I'm a big World War II buff, and when I was researching, just what happened during World War II, because I was always interested, not in the aspect of the war, but I was really interested in how someone like Adolf Hitler could get to power, because Adolf Hitler was voted in democratically, right? He didn't just go and take power. People voted him in. He got millions of German votes, right? And all those people who voted for him, I kept thinking to myself, they weren't anti-Semitic. They weren't racist, right? All those people that you had to have some norm. But then, you had the Nuremberg incident that happened before he got elected. You had, him saying all these anti-Semitic things, the final solution. People were aware of that, but people still voted for him. So I kept saying to myself, why would people, knowing that, still vote for someone like Hitler? How could he win an election? It's not like he wasn't telling people who he was. So I went back and I researched it. I started looking at, like just during the campaign, and I found something fascinating. There was a Jewish group, and they literally were campaigning for Adolf Hitler. It was called Jews for Hitler. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up right now. It just made me, it was just so insane. And I just was like, my God, this is something that I just didn't expect. I just was like, wow. Here's the Wikipedia page, and now obviously Wikipedia has issues sometimes, but they're pretty accurate with things like this. But I'm going to share this screen with you. And again, I'm not comparing any of these. This is just my thought process in determining like how people can be so entrenched with people who obviously are not for their best interest, to support them, to vote for them. And then after a while, you're like, my God, how did we not know? But here's the Association of German National Jews, right? They have the dubious distinction of supporting Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany, right? They came out in support of Adolf Hitler, the Association for German National Jews. Insane, right? You would think this is insane. You would think, I don't know, maybe all you guys have already seen this. Maybe you guys have already known this. But this is what happens. And I think this is what's happening now. Obviously, Trump is not Hitler, and anybody who makes that comparison, I think, is wrong. What I am comparing is that how people, no matter who you are, can vote against your self-interest, even to the point where you're voting for someone who is advocating killing all Jews. The Association of German Jews, they supported Adolf Hitler. Insane. Is this not insane? Am I just going crazy? I'm talking about, listen, just let me know, guys. Am I making sense? If I'm not making any sense, just let me know. I'll stop talking about this, but am I making sense? Here it is. Let me look at the chat. So I have been ignoring the chat for a while. Let me see if I missed any super chats too. I apologize if I have. I've been on my monologue. You know how I am on my monologue. Yeah, I got you, Alexander. And thanks again for that. And for everybody who's super chatting me, thank you so much. It really, really helps, and it helps me do this. It helps me do this. It does make a difference. So I really, really appreciate all the members, Patreons, and everything. Really, really, I humbly thank you. I really, really do. So I don't know. And if I offended anybody with this speech, I'm just trying to make just trying to make a point, and it's an interesting point. But some people may I make the comparison. I do. This is exactly why people around the world ask, do we learn from history when Trump was elected? Yeah. Secret Squirrel. There is a reason for saying turkey voting for Christmas. Yeah. No, for Thanksgiving, right? Turkeys vote for Thanksgiving. Thanks, Secret Squirrel. Thanks for the $5 super chat. You're making sense to me. I just, to me, I think this whole Trump thing is something akin to this, is that you have somebody like I see, people saying Trump is not a racist. Well, I don't believe he's a racist. I've never thought Trump was racist, but I wouldn't vote for him. I would never vote for Trump. And I don't want this to be like me just dumping on Trump all morning, but it's just true. I just would never vote for Trump because I think he's incompetent. I think all this other stuff, but no matter how bad it gets, I believe people know they're going to think about this. There are going to be 60 million people voting for Trump, knowing what he's done, knowing that he's incompetent, knowing it's so bad. It's so bad that they had the report come out that they can't even give Trump intelligence on Russia because they're afraid that he's going to give it to the Russians. Secret Squirrel, you don't have Thanksgiving here. Yeah. I forgot. So I got to retract my statement. Thank you, Secret Squirrel. So yes, turkeys voting for Christmas. Thanks, Secret Squirrel. Prometheus said, I will vote for Trump. Right on, man. Right on. I'm just not with you. But and don't get me wrong, my best friend is going to vote for Trump. Actually, two of my best friends are going to vote for Trump. They are still going to be my friends after they cast that ballot. We're still going to argue about it. I don't have any ill will toward them. If you vote for Trump and you support Trump, I don't have any ill will towards you. I think you're making a horrible decision, but no, I respect you. I love you, and so be it. I just think, just like those Jews who voted for Hitler, right? I have no ill will toward them, right? I think that they were in a situation in which it was just, it was in that moment, they believed that they were doing the right thing. And, the Association of German National Jews, they suffered just like everyone else, so sometimes it happens. Sometimes people are fooled. And so I don't think, I think people are fooled. And I think Trump does a great job of doing it. So, hey, Jews for Hitler, that happened. That happened. And I think that's a mistake that people have to realize. Okay, let's not make that happen. Let's not make that mistake again. I'm monologuing like a madman here. All right, so we talked about coronavirus. We talked about Kellyanne, Conway. We've talked about Trump. Now, one of the things that pisses me off now is this mail-in voting. Now, I got to tell you this. I live in New York. You guys know I live in New York. And obviously, Trump lived in New York, too. Trump with this mail-in voting thing. Now, obviously, the reason why he doesn't want mail-in voting because he knows if more people vote, he loses, right? Let's just keep it 100% honest. The more people vote, the more likely it is for Trump to lose. So he wants to suppress the vote, right? But you got to be careful. You don't want to suppress the vote where you're going to win, where you need those mail-in votes to win. You want to suppress them where you don't need the mail-in votes. So currently, what's going on is Trump is supporting mail-in voting in Florida. Why? For two reasons. Number one, in Florida, it has its population is extremely elderly. So it has a very, very old population. So that population are not going to the polls to vote in person. Why? Well, it's because they don't want to die from coronavirus, right? You don't want elderly people leaving their homes, going to a central location with thousands of other people voting. So that's not going to happen, right? So what do you want to do? So mail-in vote. So that's why Trump supports mail-in voting from Florida. If you don't believe me, let's go to the videotape. That's the great thing about today. When you could just go to the videotape and say, hey, here it is. It's fantastic. So let's just go to the videotape. Trump with it's okay to vote by mail in Florida because why? Older people are voting Republican. And if you don't have mail-in ballots, then you have the exact opposite in Florida. You have people who are going to vote, who are going. Well, Trump is going to lose votes because he needs mail-in ballots to win in Florida. So check this out.
Had a great Republican governor, and it had a great Republican governor. It's got Ron DeSantis, Rick Scott, two great governors. And over a long period of time, they've been able to get the absentee ballots done extremely professionally. Florida is different from other states. I mean, in Nevada, where you have a governor, he said, let's just send out millions of ballots and the post office cannot be prepared. I haven't spoken to the post office about it, but I don't know how they could possibly be prepared. Florida has been working on this for years, and they have a very good system of mail-in, and that would be absentee or even beyond absentee. So in the case of Florida, there aren't too many people that would qualify. They're so well run. Florida's a very well run state, low taxes, low everything. They've done a great job, really a great job. And the two governors, between the both of them, they've really got a great system of absentee ballots and even in the case of mail-in ballots. But this took years to do. This doesn't take weeks or months. In the case of Nevada, they're going to be voting in a matter of weeks. And you can't do that. I can't imagine the post office could do it. All of a sudden, they're supposed to be dealing in millions of ballots. But Florida's done a great job, and we have total confidence that if you mail in your ballot in Florida, it's going to matter. So Florida.
Yeah. So do you believe that? Think about that. He's suing to suppress mail-in ballots in Arizona because they're going to hurt him in Arizona, and he's saying it's good to vote mail in Florida because most of the elderly population are going to vote for him in Florida. So yeah, it's good to vote in Florida. That's voter suppression. This is third world country type shit. And you got people who are going to vote for this man so he can do that. So he can suppress votes. People are going to vote for this man to suppress votes. Think about it. Think about it. Jews for Hitler. Jews for Hitler. Yeah. It's crazy. Think about if Obama did something like that. Think about if Bush 1 did something. Any other president. Think about if somebody came out and said, it's good for, in Florida where I need the votes, that's good. But no, in Arizona, no. But I got to be fair. I have to be fair because if I don't say what I'm about to say now, you should call me a hack. This is the same reason why we can't vote by mail in New York. Voter suppression. The Democrats in New York suppress the vote here in New York. Yes, they do. That's the reason why we can't vote by mail in New York. What happens is that the political establishment, which are all Democrats here in New York, know that the people, their hand-picked people who they want to win elections, governorships, the district attorney's office, mayor's office, they know that the more people who come out and vote, the less likely that they are going to win. So what do? They make your ass go to some polling place. And every time I vote, I've had to stand online for about an hour to cast a vote in a box that's 100 years old. That's voter suppression in New York. And then if you bring up, well, why can't we just vote by mail? Why can't we just send in a ballot? Why can't we just do this electronically? This happens in New York. Matter of fact, it's been such a problem that here in New York, they're still arguing whether they want to do mail-in ballots. And this is New York. This is a Democratic state. So Trump is not new. Trump is from New York. And I think he's just saying, well, hey, we do it in New York all the time. We're also going to do it. Let's just do it nationally. So this is not a Republican versus Democrat thing. I'm not voting for Cuomo because I think he's doing the same goddamn thing, suppressing the votes. They should just end. Nobody's asking, but what about New York? Why hasn't New York said they're going to do universal mail-in voting? Nobody's saying that. Why? Because the news media wants you just to think that Trump's a bad guy. But this is happening in Democratic states. New York. It's happening to me. I can't go vote by mail unless I got a great excuse, right? I got to go to the poll in the middle of a pandemic. So this is just it. You know what I'm saying? It's not Democrat. This is just the way it works. Politics. This is politics. Oh, you guys can't hear me? Somebody says my audio's not good. I'm sorry. I'm preaching today, boy. Woof. Praise God. And that's a good segue to my man Jerry Falwell. Living in the UK, I've never had to watch, let alone catch, let alone catch. What's it? Cachet? I can't even see that word. Oh, it's Queuq. Quue. I don't know how to say it. It's like Q. I know it's Q, but I don't know, maybe I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Q to cast a vote. I'm assuming that's wait to cast a vote. Hey, you can tell I'm thanks guys, you can hear me fine. I'm saying preach. His headphones are broke. Mine are broke? Oh, they are? No. You hear them? I hear everything just fine. Prometheus, the Trump voter. You're trying to get me, Prometheus. Funds for new glasses. Oh, the Steve McRae. No, my glasses are fine, thank God. I gotta get some new ones. My doctor said I might have to go back to the other ones. I don't know if you guys see my eye, but my eye is like getting even worse. So the doctor said I might have to go back and get the darker ones, which I really didn't want to do because I feel like there's a different type of relationship when people can see your eyes and see that you're talking to them. But I got to do what I got to do. He says I might have to go back, especially when filming, because sometimes filming I need light on me. So they made these glasses supposedly have lines in them that help, but he says I might have to go back. So I'll see. It's the 22nd. I have to go back just to see, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah. But now it's Q. Yeah, I thought it was Q, but it was spelled a little weird. Well, it's against from London, but yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. Funds for new glasses. Thank you so much, Secret Squirrel. Thank you so much, Secret Squirrel. I appreciate it. So let's talk about religion and Jerry Falwell. Jerry Falwell. Now, obviously, we all know Jerry Falwell is a prominent Christian here in the U.S. of A. But he got caught out there. He got caught out there with a young girl and pants unzipped. Yeah. Do I even have that up? Nah, I don't have it. I closed it by accident. But anyway, we'll talk about that next week. The Jerry Falwell saga. But it was, he's got a hot young girl and he's a Christian man, so it's one of those things, you know, one of those wild things. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to. Should I plug this in? No, how much time do I got left? How much time do I got left? I got 30 minutes left. I got 30 minutes before I got to plug this bad boy back in. I should have plugged it in before. Yeah. So, all right. So we're not going to do the Jerry Falwell case, but I do want to let you guys know I have a new video coming out later on today, and this video, I think it's one of my, it's part of my series, Black in America. So for those of you who are here, this video is now, if you're a member, you've seen the video, and if you're a Patreon, you've already seen the video. You know, they get first dibs on all my videos. This video is about being Black in America, and it tells the story of some of the laws that still exist in the South that were created to re-enslave Black people in America. And I go through a historical perspective. So I'd appreciate you guys to watch that video and to critique it. And because I really want to understand, I'm trying to tell the story of the Black experience in America from a perspective of law, and to show you, because what I'm going to do is go through a lot of the cases, the legal cases, how Blacks were treated both legally and in law enforcement, to show you just the progression of why Black Lives Matter today is kind of synonymous with the struggle from the Civil War. And hopefully you guys will all be able to appreciate that. And the problem when you talk about race, especially when you talk about it to people who are not within the United States, is that they don't understand the history. Like, for instance, I want to show you guys a picture of something that I think is powerful. In the United States, one thing that they used to do is that after the Civil War, Black people were free. And when they lost that free labor, what they started doing is making laws that just, it was illegal for Black people to be Black, right? They were making laws to actually criminalize Black people. And this picture is going to show you. Now, before I put this picture up, I gotta at least let you guys know what this is going to show. What police officers used to do in the United States, right? What police officers used to do in the South is during this part of slavery, if Black children were in parks playing or in front of their homes playing, police officers would go and arrest Black children. If Black children were reading, writing, because it was illegal to teach them to read or write, it was illegal to be Black. Literally, it was literally illegal to be Black. So police officers would go and arrest children, and they would convict them of crimes. So you'd have children who were convicted felons, and for doing their crimes, they would be forced to work on plantations. So this video I'm going to show you. This is a picture of one of the prison wards for Black children who, instead of going to school, were sent to prison camps. So you see, these are all Black children. I think pictures in 1915 or 1920, and they're sharecropping. And what happens is that since it was illegal for Black children to read or write, or even go to school, the police would arrest them. And you see them; these are prison uniforms. These are prison uniforms. So these children are prisoners. These are not delinquents. These are just Black children. And this was a way to get these children to work for free. They weren't getting paid. They were paying off their debt to society. Some of these children actually even starved to death because they weren't getting paid enough, after work. They didn't even feed them here. So when people say Black Lives Matter and there's a history of racism in America and the police, being a part of that system, that's what people are trying to say, is that yes, in certain places, it was commonplace for them to just arrest Black children for nothing and force them to work on plantations. And they started passing laws that made it that would give children like this life sentences. So a children who was arrested 3 times, a child that was arrested 3 times would now get a life sentence and have to work from when they were 15 all the way till they were 65 on plantations. It was a way to re-enslave. So that's what this video is about. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys understand it. But I really do want just people to look at it and see if it tells a story of the Black experience in America. Because I know sometimes it may be, we all say, yeah, Blacks were slaves. We all say this, but I think we don't understand how those things back then affects us today, and how there are still pieces of this type of racist policies and racist law that are still affecting, that still are enshrined today. In that video, you'll see there's a law on the books in Louisiana that someone was just convicted of they were attempting to steal hedge clippers. And by them attempting to steal hedge clippers, they got a life prison sentence, right? And they've been in prison for 23 years for attempting, not stealing, but attempting to steal hedge clippers. Now, I do want to say this. Things are better today than they were before, but it's something I think hopefully it starts the conversation. So with that, I'm trying to see if I can. All right, I got Jerry Falwell back. So let's talk about Jerry Falwell. Here we go. Christian conservative. Let's see what's been going on. You guys got lucky. I got Jerry Falwell back, and I only got like 10 minutes. So here we go. Going for Jerry Falwell. We're going to see if we can do this before I have to get out of here. Jerry Falwell. Boom.
Leading evangelical voices is apologizing for something he did that is an apparent violation of the honor code he holds his students to. Jerry Falwell Jr. posted a photo of himself in unzipped pants with one arm around a woman and the other holding a glass with dark liquid, which he described as, quote, black water. Falwell explained in a radio interview that it was all in good fun.
It was weird because she's pregnant, so she couldn't get her pants zipped. And so I was like trying to I had on a pair of jeans that I haven't worn in a long time, so I couldn't get mine zipped either. And so I just put my belly out like hers, and it was just she's my wife's assistant, and she's a sweetheart, and I should never have put it up because it embarrassed her. Because anyway, I've apologized to everybody, and I promise my kids I'm gonna try to be a good boy from here on out.
Well, that apology may not be enough. Falwell is the head of Liberty University, which maintains a strict code of ethics banning lewd lyrics, sexual content, and immodest dress, among other things. And this isn't the first time that Falwell Jr. has caused a scandal. He was urged to step down after making a blackface joke. One member of the university's advisory board, Congressman Mark Walker, tweeted that he was appalled by Falwell's behavior and is calling on him to resign. And Congressman Walker is joining me now. Sir, thanks for coming on to talk about this.
Now, don't get me wrong. Should Jerry Falwell be forced to resign for taking a picture with this woman with showing his belly and but this is the I don't know how it's crazy. That's crazy. Now, it's funny because, people are speculating, is that his baby or is she even really pregnant? Let's look at the picture again. Hold on. Let's look at the picture again. Because when I saw it, I didn't think she was pregnant. I'm going to roll it back just to see the picture. Let me see if I can see the picture. If you guys look at it, maybe she might be pregnant. I don't know. She didn't look like it to me, but it's too small. Well, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's pregnant. Yeah, well, it could be, whatever. But the picture doesn't look bad, though. Yeah, she's pregnant. We both can't zip up the pants, whatever. But they're asking him to resign for this picture. God. So, And, it might not even be his. And at first, I thought it was his girlfriend or something. But I think they are too, they're too uptight over there at Liberty University. If that's, you take a picture like that, and next thing you know, you're telling the president to resign, then I think you got a problem. So, and he did sound drunk. Is it me, or did he sound like he was high or something on that interview? He sounded high as hell. And I was so sorry. Jerry Falwell. So yeah, so the Christian conservatives are making it very, very interesting plea for poor Jerry Falwell to resign. So what do you think? Do you think Jerry should resign for that picture? I don't think so. I think it's all be a bull. I think they're making a problem where there hasn't been one. So, but we'll see. We'll see if he steps down because he's he broke the honor code of Liberty University. Whatever. All right, people. Well, listen. Thank you so much for joining me and this early Saturday morning. Thank you to the fans. Again, I really, really appreciate all your support, and you guys don't know how much it does mean to me. Be on the lookout for the video later today. It should be out. I'm also doing I got a video coming out on Jake Paul. If you guys don't know, Jake Paul's the big YouTuber, 20 million subs. The FBI just raided his place and took out like a cache of weapons, so he's got problems, and there are a couple of other legal videos I'm going to do. Also, I'm thinking about doing my bar prep series. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about American law, hopefully that will help out. Thanks, Secret Squirrel. Thanks for the $5 super chat. I definitely appreciate it. And I have but it's only going to be Patreons. Me and my daughter, we did a skit. Like she wants to do a YouTube channel, so we did a skit about me as I'm playing a drunk father, and she's playing really herself, and we're doing an unboxing of a toy, and so we shot it. And it's hilarious, but the fact of the matter is like, I'm like, is it too edgy? Is it not too edgy? So we're editing it now. We're going to put it up, but hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So it's me playing. Really, it's funny. My wife is like, I'm playing myself. I'm like, oh, whatever. But I'm playing a father who wants to have his daughter become a YouTube star, and she's doing an unboxing. So we go through that whole process. So if you're one of the Patreons and a member, you're going to be able to get it and see it, and and then get to make fun of me, behind the scenes. So hopefully typecasting. I like that. So it's typecasting. So you guys hopefully you'll see it. You'll see me in a wife beater and and making fun of her when she messes up, and she'll say some stuff. It's an interesting video clip. It's interesting stuff. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. My name is Nate, Laura YouTuber. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Again, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.